everyone, today we're going to read Donald's Magic Stone. One cold winter day, Donald was chopping wood in his backyard. One more log, and I think I'll have enough wood, said Donald. He was getting very hungry. The thought of a nice hot dinner was the only thing that kept him working. After Donald finished chopping all the wood, he went inside and started to look around his kitchen for some food. But he had forgotten to shop for groceries. There wasn't a single crumb to eat. I sure do wish there was some way to get dinner without having to go all the way to the store to buy it, Donald grumbled. Just then, Donald saw Goofy. Goofy was walking past the house, and his arms were bags full of groceries. Donald said to himself, "Gee, Goofy has all these groceries. I wonder if there is some way I can get him to invite me to dinner." Donald raced out of his house. "Goofy, yoo-hoo, Goofy," Donald called as he ran. Suddenly, an unhappy thought popped into Donald's head. He stopped running. "What if Goofy doesn't invite me to dinner?" worried Donald. "I sure don't want to invite myself. Why, I can't even bring dessert." Donald thought and thought. Then he noticed a stone sparkling on the ground. He stared at the stone. Slowly, an idea began to take shape. "That stone looks pretty special," said Donald. "Maybe with a little imagination, I can use this stone to get Goofy to invite me to dinner." Donald thought for a minute. "I've got it," he cried. Donald ran after Goofy once again. "Oh, Goofy," he called, "wait for me. I have something to show you." Goofy stopped and waited. He smiled as Donald raced up to him. "Did you ever see one of these?" Donald asked. "Did I ever see a stone?" Goofy asked. "Sure." "Oh, this is not just a stone, Goofy," Donald said mysteriously. "This is a magic stone." "What does it do?" Goofy asked. "It makes soup," said Donald. "Do you want to see how?" "Yes," said Goofy. "Come over to my house. Let's see if that magic stone can really make soup." When they got to Goofy's house, the two friends headed straight for the kitchen. Goofy put the groceries away, and Donald filled a big soup pot with water. Donald put the pot of water on the stove to boil. He dropped the magic stone into the pot. "And now for the magic words," he said. "Bippity boppity boop. Make a tasty soup." Goofy stared at the stone in the pot, waiting for something to happen. After a while, the water began to boil, but nothing much else seemed to be happening to the soup. "You know, Goofy," said Donald, "I've heard that if you add carrots to the pot of soup, it makes it taste really delicious." "Gosh, Donald, I have some carrots. Why don't I chop them and add them to the pot?" Goofy said. And he did just that. The carrots in the water started to boil. Donald lifted a spoonful to cool. Then he took a taste. "Just as I thought, Goofy. This soup will be delicious." Then Goofy added, "But an onion or two would make it taste even better." "Say no more," said Goofy. He walked over to the place where he kept the onions. Then he and Donald chopped up onions and stirred them into the soup. Said Donald as he looked at the soup. "It isn't as thick as it should be," he added. Goofy looked worried. "But I think I know what the problem is, said Donald. You see, I've made the soup with this stone so many times this week that it must be a bit worn out. Maybe a little flour would help. Goofy handed Donald the flour. He stirred, which Donald added to the soup. He stirred and stirred and stirred some more to make sure that the soup would be nice and smooth. Donald tasted the soup again. It's delicious, he said, smacking his lips loudly. Then he offered Goofy a taste. Goofy had to agree. It did taste wonderful. But do you know what really needs, Goofy? Donald asked. The soup would be really special if we added some cabbage. I think stone soup with cabbage is the best soup of all. Goofy thought the cabbage was a very good idea. As a matter of fact, he had just bought one at the grocery store that day. So the two friends chopped up the cabbage. They added it to the pot. That soup sure smells good now. Do you think the stone is finished making dinner? Goofy asked Donald. Donald took another taste. Almost, he said. But I think there's something missing, Donald thought for a minute. Potatoes, he decided. Right, Goofy agreed. Goofy peeled the potatoes while Donald chopped. Next, they poured in the potatoes, and Donald stirred the soup. Donald stirred the soup some more. Then Donald took another delicious taste. Wow, I think this is the best soup I've made all week, Donald called from the kitchen. It is? Goofy asked as he sat at the table. His stomach was beginning to growl. Is it done yet? Not quite yet, Goofy, said Donald. It still needs a touch of something. But what? He thought for a minute. Salt and pepper. That's it. That will make the soup taste perfect. And so Donald added a bit of pepper and salt. Donald took one last taste. Then he cried, "Time to eat. The soup is done." Goofy sighed happily. "I'm ready when you are," he called from the table, spoon in hand. Donald looked at the table. He thought the two soup bowls and two soup spoons looked lonely sitting on the table all by themselves. "You know, Goofy, stone soups goes really well with some bread and butter," Donald said, "and a plate of fine sausages wouldn't hurt either." Goofy agreed, so he went through his kitchen gathering up everything they needed to make a feast. Before long, Goofy's table was filled with plates of sausages and cheese, fruit and bread, pickles and olives, and whatever else Donald could think of that would go well with the magic stone soup. At last, Donald set the hot soup on the table. He looked at Goofy's happy face, and suddenly Donald was ashamed of the trick he had played on his friend. "Goofy, there's something I have to tell you," Donald said. "This stone really isn't magic." "Sure it is, Donald," said Goofy. "Look how it made my groceries disappear." Goofy and Donald laughed together. A little imagination was really all the magic they needed. The end. I like this book because he plays the trick on him and and he regrets it after. It's really funny because I liked the Mickey books when I was just 4. Bye. I hope you like this book.